Hey guys, it's Dan with Avantnovis. Hope everybody's doing today. You're doing good today. We're here with our latest project. It's the Dragon Isles. It looks really snazzy. Let me just give some updates. First of all, thank you for Dr. V, Paint of France, which is probably Northern Halifax, the Puppet Master, Disney Reject, and also Mr. J. As always, Puppet Master, hope you're doing good. Appreciate your support, and thank you for all that you do. Let's go ahead and give a quick update on where we're at and what we're doing. Currently, let's go ahead and show you this. This is the current campaign map we're working on. There's your detail level. And what I'm doing now is I've just started coloring this. If you guys would like to see how I do the coloring in Art Rage, please let me know. That might be something fun to do with each other. But basically, I'm going in and finding the low spots and high spots on the map and just kind of filling it in very gently with a little bit of color here and a little bit of color there. So let's go ahead and go back to our current project. This is the dragon map we made last time. Hope everybody liked that. We got a lot of great responses online for it. Today we're going to be coloring it, adding forests and rivers and all that, little niggly details. And then we will be creating civilizations and stuff like that with this. So let's go ahead and get started here. I remember how. All right, let's go ahead and start with some rivers. So to do the rivers, we go with the land. We go the eraser. We cut the eraser down. And we will just make just these little tiny rivers everywhere we can. Actually, I'm looking at this, and we don't have any hills. Let's go ahead and get the hills first. Oh yeah, we'll do the, thank you, Iron. We will do the volcanoes as well. We definitely need to do volcanoes for this. Let me just remember what kind of map we were using last time. Okay. There's our hills. Let's go ahead and let us start. Let's make them a little bigger. We'll use our hills to fill in all these details. Then we'll hit those volcanoes because those are important. Again, we're just going back and forth with the hills, just kind of feeding the area, making sure in the gaps there's something there. We'll just bust these out really quick. Then we'll do volcanoes and we'll do rivers. All right. Just little hills here and there. Nothing too extreme. Yeah, that looks good. So let's just keep doing that. Again, circle to fill, straight lines to create texture. Yeah, we could do that. I was actually thinking that as you mentioned it. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Go ahead and get these hills. These hills are creating a great amount of scale. All right. I'm seeing some weird stuff over here, so we're going to correct that while we're here. Let's get rid of some of these rounded parts. Things that don't look natural. There we go. There we go. Just a quick little fix there. Maybe we'll add some land in certain areas there. Here, to make our little, let's up the placement density and rate. There we go, that's a lot faster. Yeah, that looks a lot better. And we'll just run the hills all the way down everywhere around the mountains. Have some hills over here. That works. Okay. Well, island in the center of the eye. What if we made it a sacred valley? What if we did that? And the next question is, why does it have such a religious? Let's talk about their religion here. Granted, this looks like a. I mean, the first question we need to ask is this a dragon, or is this the remains of a dragon? Is it a? Is it like fossilized something really big? Oh, we could do sacred volcanoes. Sure. That actually sounds really cool. Oh yeah, hills are doing good. Let's keep going with them. I'm just using my mouse on this, just a little back and forth and stuff like that. Hello, Mr. Smith's government class. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Glad you are here today with us. Loved your comments. Loved working with you on figuring out a couple things. Okay. We're still working here. Well, let's go ahead and let's ask about the religion. Well, no, let's ask about the dragon first. What does everybody feel? Is this a dragon? Is this a supernatural being? Is it an ancient calcified dragon? What? Question is, what is this? Some hills and stuff in there. It's kind of randomly back and forth. Adding some mass and some texture. Something up here. Again, we'll get this done really quick and then move to the fun stuff with the rivers. Man, we put a lot of mountains in. Yeah, that's okay. It looks good. Sit right here. So I think it'd be very cool if this was like an ancient, really big prehistoric dragon. This is where it perished and it fossilized. Maybe under the waves, and then recently the waves have come back and opened it. Exposed, well, maybe in the past 1,000,000,000 years it's come back. Or do you guys think it should be just something else? Maybe a mystical, like something's been shaping the land a certain way and using the volcanoes and like manipulating the volcanoes to create land. That'd be kind of cool. What do you think of that? Something manipulating, kind of carving the land with the volcanoes? I think I like that a lot. I think we're going to go with that. Because, you know, if you're creating land, I mean, if you're using that kind of much magic, it's easier to manipulate a volcano versus an entire area of continent. Because if you're using the volcano to create land, you're only influencing that hot spot in the earth and whatever comes with that. So maybe that's the part of the religion, which would be kind of cool, that they're a bunch of world shapers to tap into the geological and those kind of places. All right, that looks good. We're getting there. We're slowly getting there. Let's make these a little more consistent. There we go. Something here, just back and forth. Just using the mouth. Just using the mouse. All right, back here. We'll bust this out really quick. No reason to stay too long on this. It's looking good. But again, it's all up to you guys on the lore and all that good stuff. I'm sure we could do the rivers first, but I always like to kind of work down when it comes to landforms. Down meaning from the top to the bottom. Once we get the base done. All right. I think so. What do you think, Iron? Iron pen? I think it's been shaped. It's been definitely shaped. Question is that still going on, or did someone set something in motion and then, either passed? Maybe the magic that they shaped was connected to some kind of dragon and it's slowly resembling the powers that enabled it. Kind of an echoing of oops, let's not do that. Where those powers came from. It's kind of neat. Let's put that there. We're getting there. Slowly but surely we're getting there. Just want to add the hills in. Little circles. There we go. It feels good. Kind of chaotic, but good. Oh, looks like I messed up on these right here. So let's go ahead and we'll just go boop. Down the hills like this. There we go. Give us kind of a reason why those lakes are there. Yeah, I think the magic shaping and following whatever powers were imbued into the individuals that made this place, they were draconic in nature. And thus, we kind of get the form. It's just kind of echoing off that essence that helped build the place. Yeah, it's kind of changing. A couple of these little areas there. That's kind of cool. This looks like kind of a flame. Let's kind of give it a mouth. Water, 1 second. All right, we're back in. And that could be it. It's looking good. There. Okay, back to symbols. Back to our mountains. Get our little hills in place. I think, me personally, and you guys can vote, I'm not a fan of, and again, it's my personal preference on this. All things in a world, if magic's dying, if a certain type of magic would be dying, then another type of magic or another type of power would take its place. I know there's been a lot of materials and fantasy books about how that's like technology and stuff. But I'm always a fan of stuff that magic is not dying, but it's changing into something else. I've always been a fan of that. Changing into something new, and maybe that's what's going on now for some reason. Kind of make it a secret. Maybe the land's just stabilized, and that's causing a bunch of people confusion. And maybe they made sacrifices or stuff, and every time they did, it would like trigger the magic that shapes the land. So whatever land they needed for their society, that'd be kind of cool. Whatever land they needed for their society, they just grabbed a bunch of things, sacrificed them, and it empowered the magic to shape stuff. What do you think? Again, that's my 2 cents, and we got a bunch of people in here. Mr. Smith, with each major landmass deviation by some miles, I can see over or even under mountain travel be highly regulated. Nav traffic isn't sufficient enough. Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. It also could be, depending on this religion, a form of control of separating people from each other and regulating people. That'd be kind of cool. They're just doing that to make sure resources are still available. Best intentions on all. Okay, so we got our mountains done. Things are looking good. And maybe that's not working now and it's throwing everything into kind of an uproar. They can't make any more land for some reason. I kind of like that. I like that a lot. Okay, let's start going ahead and getting our rivers in place. It's kind of a big river, but it's what we got. Another one there. Okay. Big old river there. Question is, if that magic's going, what is it being modified into? Go ahead and craggly this area up. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, back to rivers. Because, nature abhors the vacuum. Talking like a deity dragon. That's the case, Iron Pen. I think the sacrifices definitely empowered it. Maybe we can go with kind of an Aztec theme or Mayan theme. I forget which ones were the sacrifice happy guys. Oh, that'd be interesting if the dragon's now alive or it's could come back to life and it doesn't have to, it's not enslaved anymore. That'd be very cool. All right. We're getting this. We're getting this. More rivers. We will be good to go. Let's hurry this up a little. Okay, don't neglect our islands, Dan. Let's not neglect some islands. We're gonna put a lot of trees on that. Okay, so what we got now for lore is we have these islands were being used by the local religion to create land for their people. They're using some kind of draconian magic, which was echoed in the land that they created. And with that, now in the recent, the dragon has been freed by someone or something. And so those individuals can't cap its power anymore. Little, that's very cool. We're up here. Let's continue to work. Let's have that. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's a good spicy meatball. Iron Pen says maybe they tried to move the outer islands to the center, make more use of land mass, but the drag stopped because it would kill it. Yeah, maybe it got to that crisis point. It's angry. They lost their magic and it's angry. Now, did the dragon willingly in the first bit of this? Was the dragon a willing participant in empowering these geomancers and stuff like that? So I think that'd be neat. Going down here. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah, still not recovered yet, but getting there. In fact, I'm a little bit dizzy, so we'll see how long that I can keep up with this, and then we'll go from there. Oh, I like that. Iron Pen says, yeah, maybe he's locked away from a dragon afterlife, and the geomancers will help him access it. With the islands moving around, we're locking him. Maybe they just abused their relationship with him. Maybe it finally came alive and was just like, you guys are done. All right. Let's go ahead and add some symbols here. We need some little hills and stuff. Always make it consistent. I always neglect the islands. It's okay. All right. Maybe the dragon reached the afterlife. Oh, that'd be very cool. Maybe it was just lost through time. Now, what happens with the dragon once it hits the afterlife? Is it reborn? Is there a cycle to it? Or maybe it was just a time sensitive stuff. They were just like, you can stay here. I'll help you, but once I'm done, you're going to be left alone, and the priest just forgot about it. Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, the geomancers abused the power. And did they kill it unintentionally? Oops, sorry about that. I totally deafened half the audience. Accidentally dropped the mic. Let's go ahead and save this really quick. All right, let's get back. Let's get back in here. Just rivers, just occasional rivers. A lot of rivers. Yes, this map will be available to everybody at avantnovis.com. You don't have to be a Patreon member, but it only stays up for about a week or 2 weeks. And then I will take it down. Yep. It's better. Everywhere I see weird little land things, we'll fix those. There should be some mountains. Climate's a good question. Climate is a really, really, really good question. I think that it'd be very interesting if those individuals that had enslaved the dragons were also responsible for a control climate, maybe. Or be really interesting once the dragon left, the volcanoes erupted. That, of course, in the center of the area is making it a lot colder. But I'm thinking, I don't know. I think a temperate place like this would be interesting. Because usually, like with sacrifices and stuff, it's always like South America or warmer areas or stuff. But sacrificing was a big part of the day-to-day living of many ancient peoples. I'm thinking like temperate, kind of Mediterranean temperate. What's your thoughts? Um, I think the catastrophe with the dragon leaving is the start of the catastrophe, or a perceived catastrophe. Meanwhile, the world's making itself right again. They got me on a new medication that's kind of kicking my butt, so I'm gonna try to. We'll try to get some land colored, and so we have a significant improvement on this map. Then I'm probably gonna need to go lie down again, which really ticks me off. Right now, I'd say instead of being calm, they've since they're resuming their natural function. I think they're kind of rough in some spots, so river travel's kind of a pain. So we kind of have like a climate, a very crazy climate that is going into. It was very controlled, and now that the dragon's gone away or died finally, um, the weather of this place is just going bonkers. And maybe it's just not bonkers. Maybe the regular people are just not used to living in 4 seasons. You got snow here. That'd be very cool. Scary. Totally upend a society that is based on just, a very warm and calm existence. What do you think of that? There we go. Okay, let's come over here. Sure we don't neglect these islands down here. That looks like an angry man right there. Well, not. Let's go in and add some mounts to it. Give some of these islands some mountains. Part to the Mediterranean. What do you think? I'm kind of torn between the two. It's another aspect if we're showing that there is a crisis, um, with the new, well, technically the standard, with the old natural weather patterns coming back. I think people aren't used to that. There we go. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. I think previously the dragon would uh, warm the lakes and areas around it. Iron Pen says, which I agree with and I really like. Maybe they used to be able to travel in the seas unfazed, but now they have to stay inside of the coastland. Yep. Maybe the weather was manipulated for so long that the natural weather patterns are returning with a vengeance because it of course back to normal. I think that's the best. I think that would be the most logical point. I mean, if this area was a breeding ground um for high, it's a very dry, high pressure system. Trying to get there we go. Don't know if I'll be streaming this Saturday to answer that question. Thank you for that. Um, it's, Thanksgiving and stuff like that. Figure that action out. Weird little pointy things there. Let's get rid of those. Got our rivers basically in place. Yeah, looks good, looks good, looks good. Don't think I missed many, so let's go ahead and get a color in. So let's go back to land. Let's do that. And we're going to, first of all, we are going to turn everything off but the mountains. Mountains we're going to color black just by clicking the mountain tab and filling. And we're going to go to ground. Let's go with the green first. All right. Then let's go to brown. We're just going to start working. We're going to drop our opacity. We're just going to color in where the mountains are. Just like that. We're not worried about anything else. We're just coloring the mountain where the mountains are. Pendulum. Be a cool name for the islands. Pendulum. Just coloring in where the mountains are. Go back a little bit. And we'll go in and create high points, and then we'll redo the lowest point. So we get our base done, and, well, we're basically doing bases right now. Base colors. Ooh, that's good. Dragon Bone Pendulum. All the natural formations are like serpent-like and stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool. That's actually would be very cool. So you're walking in the mountains, your party's walking in the mountains, and there come all the rocks have kind of a, the big faces of cliffs and stuff have kind of a draconian look. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, just a big, wherever we have the capital, just a giant pendulum that's been locked up in one way and everybody's kind of freaking out about it. All the clerics that were once here, their prayers aren't being answered and stuff like that. Maybe the dragon's magic had suppressed other magics. Those practitioners who practiced it got very, very good all of a sudden. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's just keep on going. Keep on keeping on. There's a mountain. It's brown. All right. So yeah, the nature magic, the common magic, the arcane magic were all dwarfed. Yeah, I think there's a power grab going on with some people that practice some bad stuff. I think there's a big power vacuum there. Maybe now another question is, did we get travelers into this land? Because the magic of foreigners would be very devastating, and it'd be like the plagues and stuff in North America and South America when Europeans arrived. It's devastating the populace. All right, keeping on going. Okay, we got down here. Let's come over here. The same thing. I think the dragon leaving naturally, or the magicians abusing the power, so the dragon just passed on. I like that story, and I think that's kind of what we should go with. What do you guys think? And now since there's a power vacuum, those that have power see an opportunity to increase their own power. What do you think of that? I'll get this written up. Double checking for all the mountains. Don't want to neglect the islands this time. Yeah, see? Neglected islands. All right. This guy's here. This guy's there. Let's double check. Yeah, we need some TLC over here. There we go. The dragon is gone. We have a power vacuum. Oh, I think the pendulum disappearing, that symbolizes the dragon's gone's an excellent idea. Everybody's blaming the king, so there's almost a civil war going on. Poor guy, or girl, or whoever. Silence. And we'll use our brown and we'll start filling stuff. Filling where the high points and low points are. All right. Nope. More mountains we missed. Just double checking that we got mostly everything. It's looking good. That's looking good. Yeah, it'd be horrible. Maybe he's grasping for control too. Because if you're the puppet of something and all of a sudden the strings go away, what happens? That'd be a very interesting concept. Right now, I'm going in with just this kind of a lighter amber color. I'm not putting it directly on the mountains, but I'm putting it on the higher elevation areas. So it looks like hills and stuff like that, as such. Going kind of in between trying to keep off the mountains as much as I can. Let's actually make this a little smaller. There we go. Keeping off the mountains as much as I can. This will be our transition into the green. Let's get these mountains a little better. Back to this. There we go. That looks good. Reminds me of that Coldplay song. Maybe with the king in the mainland, there's this huge control factor that's going on. Maybe that king is blaming, the lack of respect for him on the magical disappearance. That'd be interesting. Kind of switching the tails on whoever's trying to control him. Finally gets a chance to kind of shine, and he's taken it back. That makes a very complex and vibrant history, especially with any type of power. Yeah, Viva La Vida. Kind of reminds me of that. Like that song. Like Coldplay. Get some little craggly little ranges here. For the head of the dragon is kind of a pass. All right. Sure, we're not getting the mounds, but this is more of a reminder to me to make sure that we get this color in. We're using this color as a sort of elevation, showing height of stuff, making sure it's up next to the green and blue. The green and that's cool. Really taking on a nice shape. It's really taking on a nice shape. There we go. Da, da. Didn't think there was going to be this much like elevation changes in this, but it's actually looking really crucial to the look that we're going for. Down here, same thing. Make sure we don't neglect the islands on screen. Just give them a little bit of color. That works. Okay, do up here. Everything on this part of the screen will do. Now, if we're very careful, we can stay away from the greens, and that will allow us to that'll skip some steps for us, which would be nice. There. Ooh. Right. It's starting to look really, really good. I'm liking this one. I was very trepidatious about getting into this, but with the lore that we have, that the geomancy reflected the power source and how the dragon finally passed away because they were abusing it. Now there's a huge power vacuum. The people that were pulling the strings no longer have the strength in their hands to pull the strings. So you leave this king that used to be a puppet, and now he is taking back rule. All right, let's get in here. I like that lore. I really like that. No neglected islands in this one. We are going to make sure we have no neglected islands. Let's give them a splatter of color. Here. Meiji red. Yeah, you know, that's very accurate. Or took back the power in Japan. And that didn't last well. Technically it did, but question is though, who's backing the king? It's definitely not the clergy. Well, maybe, you know, the clergy being impotent now because of their source of power being taken away. I mean, kind of ask the question, what are the quote, quote, faithful doing? I'm going to try something here once we get this colors in. I'm going to try a different, maybe color the sea a little bit different. Maybe try to make it more of a blue instead of this color. Tradition is back in the king. That would be interesting. Maybe there was a social, you know, maybe there's the social religion, the quote, quote, peasant religion that was being practiced. Okay, getting the islands. And also, I am your king. Emperor. All right. Let's do something we'll save really quick. Now let's do something with water. There we go. Okay, we want that outblind as strong as possible. Kind of interesting. Let's look at these. Makes it pop a lot better. There's our hash pattern. What do you guys like? Do you like this hatched? That's kind of what it was. It's looking good. Let's keep that. Let's keep that. That looks great. Okay. I'm thinking Japan would politically were beginning to be assassinated. If Amber said anything to stop it, they would, but he didn't. Let's see. We will go with a. Let's try this. Let's try this tree. A little big there. Move to about 20. That works. Might cover some hills, but that's okay. Don't need no stinking hills. Keep it out of the mountains. Let's go ahead and have a look at that. That works. That works. No, I like where this is going. I like the background lore, the current lore of where it was and what kind of led to that. I like that a lot. Well, yeah, now it's just karma. These guys have controlled the people for so long, and now it's. And of course, you have the government kind of fighting within it and its power members. And with that, it's now. There's other groups that are coming into the scene. It's kind of cool. All right, we'll go with these trees, setting at 2030. Um, I'm getting the meds are really taking a hold. I did definitely want to make sure that I was streaming today for you guys. Really love what's going on with this Iron Pen. Thank you so much for all your input. Um, There we go. Let's get these trees colored. Put a little popping of trees every now and again. Yeah, that'd be a wonderful when role playing. That'd be a wonderful path to explore. Social change versus what was before. Of course, that social change could be, the various people that oppose it would be like, well, this is why things aren't working, is because you guys. And those guys would come back. No, it was not working long before when you guys still had your magic. Maybe make a Templar class. If you're familiar with Dark Sun, the Templars in that, they control the populace. All right. Gonna add some more trees. No trees in the ocean. Yeah, that's cool. We just got that leg done. Let's color the trees really quick for grins. Yeah, that made it pop. I really like that. Let's save this as something different. I like that. Like that a lot. We're doing good on this. I'm going to export this and we will get this into online as quick as possible. On Patreon, you'll find the full 50 gigabyte size. Avantnovis.com, there'll be another one. So we will just keep it from there. I'm really dizzy. I'm still battling some medical things. We've been going for about an hour. I think that's a good time to call it quits. I'd love to go longer, but I think I'm a little wobbly in the knees, and I apologize for that. And again, that's where we're going with the map. And this is our Patreon map that we will. This one's going to take a while. There's a lot to be done with this map. So as soon as that gets moving, I'll update the Patreon guys on that. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Iron Pen. Do you want to make flags? Yes, we'll make flags. I want a flag. No flag, no country. Get 1,000 points if you know what that's from. Yeah, I will be on. I probably not the Saturday, but definitely Monday and Wednesday. I will be on those days, and we will have some fun making more maps and continuing on with this land, the Dragonbone lands. And Tensy. Oh, I'll go check that out. I will go check that out. Wonder how Northern Lion's doing. Haven't seen him here or Puppet Master in a while. Hope they're doing okay. All right, so we're gonna call it there. I'm gonna go and figure out why I'm dizzy, and we'll call it. And again, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Big shout out to Iron Pen for all your contributions today. You really helped build this world. Let me know if you want a copy of this map, Iron Pen. And I don't think you're one of our patrons, but I will. If you want a copy, I'll get it to you happily. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and talk to you soon. Have a good one.